Okay, welcome everybody to tonight's team call. I'm Kate Noble, and we're going to be talking about how to approach people after they've already told you no. So I'm going to pull up, I did a few slides. Okay, good, this full screen works. Okay, so how to approach people when they tell you no. I think that it's a really big mistake when we come into this and we come into our conversations, and when somebody says no, we completely okay, they said no, I don't want to bug them again. Whether it's coaching that you're inviting them to or even a challenge group, it's really easy to forget about people, or to feel like they told you no and take it personally. But it's the masters of this business, so the successful people in this business that are following up. You'll hear what is that phrase? The key is in the follow-up or whatever. That's where you're going to find success in your business, is in the follow-up. I'll be sharing some statistics about how much people say no and when they say yes later. But if you really focus on following up, your business is going to grow. And it's sometimes scary when you first start, or even if you have already been a coach for a while, to follow up with people, or to even know what to say to follow up with people that say no. And it's something that you kind of have to learn. You just have to reapproach people that you've already talked to. You may feel like your list is getting smaller. You should be building your network, but maybe your close market or your hot market, warm market feels like it's getting smaller. You've already reached out to people. Obviously, if you're not building your network, you're going to eventually hit a wall no matter what, so you need to be doing that. But if you are going back to the people that you know well, there's going to be a lot of impact in your business. So when someone tells you no, we've said this how many times, you'll hear this everywhere. They're actually saying not now. So don't take it personally, right? Based on the info you've given them, when they say no, it just means that they didn't see enough value at that time, whether it's their circumstances, whether it might have been the way you presented it. It could be that they're really busy. It could be the financial piece of it. But at that time, they did not see enough value in it to move forward. And most of the topic tonight is really based on the coaching opportunity, but you can really connect this to challenge groups as well. I think that we really need to focus more on building our team, because the team aspect is where whether they sign up to get the discount or they sign up to be a business builder, the team aspect is what's going to keep them going long term, right? You have a community, a support network. We want everyone to tap in to develop, not just within a challenge group, but with our team. And that's where long-term results happen. Not always, obviously, long-term results can happen outside of that, but I really want to have you rethink about the coaching opportunity and instead think of it as inviting to the team. And I think we have a pretty awesome team, and I think that we have a lot of value to add, whether it's personal development, whether it's a support group, a network, people that care about you, friendships that you're going to build, no matter what you do with this business, right? Whether you are just doing it for the discount or a business builder. So over time, people are going to say no, right? But over time, their life situations change, right? So you want to be the person that they remember. And over that same amount of time, your story also changes. So you're in the business longer, and as you progress, you're going to become more of an attractive coach, right? People are going to be watching you, and something that you share you're continuing to share your story. If you're not sharing your story, people aren't going to connect with you. And when we say share your story, it's those vulnerable things that sometimes are scary to share. Well, that usually are always scary to share. You have to be sharing that because that's what's going to connect people with you. But anyways, you're going to grow at that same time, and people are going to then see more value in joining you. So you've got to continue to share your story. And if you constantly follow up with people, you're going to reach them at the right time. And you're going to fill a need that they have. So if you're not following up, sometimes it's really unfortunate. And this has happened to me. You'll see someone join another coach that's not on your team. And it kind of hurts. But really, it was my fault because I didn't follow up and I didn't keep in touch. And when they said no, I crossed them off the list instead of going back and following up with them. So you have to remember that life situations are going to change. And I think Jen is the perfect example. She honestly, from the first few months that I became a coach, I remember Jen, I met her when our husbands were both stationed at Camp Lejeune, and she was so sweet to me, so kind. I looked up to her. She'd been through the military lifestyle as a Marine and as a spouse, and she was athletic. She loved fitness. She was a go-getter. She knew a lot of people, and she was somebody that I liked being around. We weren't very close when we were in Jacksonville or Sneads Ferry or Camp Lejeune, but she was somebody that I wanted to be around and probably wanted to be around more. It's just that we weren't. But I remember thinking Jen would make an awesome coach, and we connected a few times. She told me no a lot. I don't know how many times, but a lot. And it wasn't that I kept going back and saying, hey, Jen, you want to be a coach? Hey, Jen, you want to be a coach? Hey, Jen, you want to be a coach? It was just being genuine and caring, and, there wasn't any intentions, because people are going to join if it's right for them or not, or right for them. So you have to remember that at the same time. Like, don't be scared, because you're just sharing something that has a lot of value. So here's some Go for No facts that I think are fun before we get into how to approach people. So 92% of people give up when someone tells them no more than 4 times. So if someone's told them no 4 times, they're going to cross them off the list and give up, whether it's a challenger or inviting the coaching opportunity. This is a pretty big deal, right? 92% give up. And 60% of all people say yes the 5th time or after. So think of all those people that would say yes if the 92% wouldn't have quit. It's crazy to think about. So even when you hear no 2 times or 3 times or 4 times, are you going to be the person that's going to go back that 5th time because you have something awesome to share with someone? So how many people are actually missing out on changing their life because you're not willing, you're too scared, you're nervous to go back that extra time? And this definitely made me think when I read these statistics, because it's so true. How many people are actually missing out on what we have to offer? You're all on this call because you see value in this. It's changed your life in some way. There's no hidden agenda when you're inviting people to the coaching opportunity. You're inviting because there's something to share, something huge that we have to offer. So our goal isn't to make people say yes, right? It doesn't matter if they say yes or no. Our goal is to share our journey, our story, and our passion so that people people know that they have a solution to change their lives. I mean, think about people that have way more confidence, people that you've impacted, coaches' lives that have been changed because they've had dramatic weight loss. They finally found something that works. They finally have people that they trust, that are positive, that are supportive. Honestly, guys, that's the biggest piece for me, is being surrounded by friends who are supportive. I have had a lot of friends in the past, but I can't tell you how impactful and amazing the people on this team are, and how much they care about you. Like, truly care, not just like face care about you. And that's just my personal experience. Like, think of all the other people whose lives have been changed. People who can leave their full-time job, be able to stay home with their kids, whose husbands can leave their jobs too. Like, there are so many amazing things that we have to offer. And there's a solution for people that need a change. So think about it. Where would you be if someone didn't ask you? Even if you're a brand new coach, where would you be? How has your life been changed, even in just a week or a year or 2 years, however long you've been a coach? And don't be selfish because somebody needs your help. Don't be selfish and think, I worry about what other people think. They're just going to say no to me again. Don't be selfish, because somebody actually needs your help. Okay, so I'm not going to go really deep into this, but before we actually get into it, you have to have a list. So we've done several trainings on creating a list. If you don't have a list, you're going to miss out on tons of people because you won't know who you're following up with. So you have to use a list. There's so many resources. You find something that works for you. Pen and paper, Google spreadsheets, Excel. There's a system called Asana, Streak. Like, depending on how much time you have to invest in figuring something out, determine what you're going to use and create a full list. If you don't have a list, you don't have a method for following up. So you might as well just stop here and get off the call if you're not going to create a list, because it's pointless. And you're going to miss a lot of people. And then those people are going to join somebody else. Okay, so follow up. The goal is to touch base and check in. So following up or approaching people that have said no to you in the past, your goal is to just touch base and check in. So how often to follow up? Okay, so we'll start with what can be called A players. And A players are going to be the people that are go-getters. They're not going to be the people that are in search for a quick buck. They're not going to be the people that maybe switch from one network marketing company to the next. They're the people that you probably are really scared to reach out to because you don't think they need this opportunity. They're the people that are already hard workers. They're the people that are willing to do what it takes. They're the people that are willing to put in the time. Now, when I say people that switch from network marketing to network marketing, that's not everybody that's in network marketing. There are so many people that are working with other companies that you need to be, that should be on your A players list, because about majority of people leave their company or go from one every year. I just think what we are a part of is so much different than any other company. Like, it's network marketing, but it's not sales. It's coaching, it's changing lives. It's health, fitness. It's like everything. It's not a product that's going to change their lives. It's truly a community. We have awesome products, but it's the community and the challenges and the true lifestyle changes. So if you know people that you think would be A players, they may be on another network marketing company. They just may not be getting what they need from there. So don't not keep in touch with people, or don't not reach out to people just because they already are selling something like Jamberry or, I don't know, purses. I don't even know. But I used to not reach out to those people because I was like, oh, they already have their thing going on and I want to support them in that. I would never, but you can still have a conversation with these people, right? They may not be, because so many people switch and so many people quit, right? They may be looking for something that's completely different. And I think what we have to offer is completely different. So those people are every 90 days. And then everyone else, the others, that sounds bad, but every 4 to 6 months. Anybody else that's not on your A players list, your dream team list, people that you really want to just be around and you think are awesome and hard workers. So everyone else would be every 4 to 6 months after they've told you no to the coaching opportunity. So you need to schedule these dates. So that's why you need a list, right? You need to know and keep track of who's on your list, who you've reached out to, and use a calendar. It's going to help to make sure that you're more detailed when you're having conversations, which I'll share about in a little bit, and make sure that you're not going to miss out on anybody. Okay, and so even if they don't join, you're building that relationship. So even though Jen didn't join, maybe after the second time, I was still building that relationship with her, right? And that's the most important thing. You're going to find that the most successful coaches in this business, they don't care if people join them or not. They truly care about building a relationship with somebody. So it's that mindset shift that has to change. You have to focus on truly caring about people. And I think that's what makes us different, right? We truly care about people. So when the timing's right, you're going to be the one that they call. And then when someone says no, you always want to leave. So if these are people that are just saying no right away, would you mind if I keep in touch just to let you know how things are going? So you want to make sure that you keep that door open, right? If they say no, you don't want to be like, okay, that's really cool. I'm really excited for you, and I hope that things slow down. That's not how you want to end it. You'd want to keep that door open and just ask if they mind if you keep in touch, because that way they know that you're going to reach out to them. Now, if you say this and you don't reach out to them, and because you don't have a list and you didn't put them on your calendar, they're going to see that as like, oh, they didn't follow up with me. They're not very serious. Like when you follow up with somebody, they're like, whoa, she's serious about this, or he's serious about this. Like they take their business seriously and they care. So make sure that you're always leaving that door open. And then be active on social media. So we're kind of in that phase in between. So they've said no to you once or twice or whatever, and you're in that in-between phase before you're going to reach out to them again, right? So you need to be active on social media because they're going to watch you, and let them watch you. Comment on their photos, like on their photos, so that you show up in their newsfeed and they see what you're doing. One thing that I like to do is I have on my Facebook, you can create like subcategories of friends, and you can create a list of like dream team, right? And those would be the people that you really, really think are awesome, that you want to work with, that you want on your team. And then you can just click on that list on the left, and it allows you to see your newsfeed will just pull up their posts. So you could make that a weekly thing where you just go to that dream team list of friends and you go in and you like and you comment on their posts, because that way you're going to show up you're going to show up in their newsfeed because you want them to watch you and see what you're doing. If you continue to offer value, they're going to be much more likely to join you, and they'll feel like they've been following your journey. You may feel like, I haven't reached out or I haven't talked to this person in 90 days or 6 months, but they're following you and they're going to feel that connection to you. So your A players, look for creative ways to keep in touch. Never miss a happy birthday message. And one tip is to do it 2 days before, because they're going to get so many messages on their birthday. Be the person that messaged them in advance, right? The person that thought of them earlier, so that you can actually have a conversation with them. Because if you message them on their birthday, they may not even message back because they're getting so many, like their news feed's already blowing up. So do it before. Comment and like on their posts, as I said. Another thing is like sending them an article or a joke that makes you think of them. Build that relationship that has no intention. It's a friendship. Okay, so 4 strategies to approach. So you've kind of been, marinating that relationship, letting it grow, letting it build. So now you're ready to reapproach this person. There's 4 different strategies. And you guys, these are really simple. And the key to this is finding a method that works for you. So you might find that one of these is the best for you. You might find a few of them work for you. You might find another way to reapproach. But this is 4 strategies that I've learned just from other personal development that I think are pretty effective. Check back in. Oh, that's so easy, right? All you need to do is check back in. You don't need to be like, hey, so I was thinking about you again, and I really think you'd be a great coach. Don't do that. Just check back in. Success tip, as I mentioned before, little things make a big difference. So if you have that list and you're keeping notes of your conversation, ask them, how's the new job going? Are you really liking it? Did the move go well? You know, how are you feeling in your pregnancy? You know, if you don't keep those notes in your list, then when you message back, it's not as genuine, right? So those little things make a big difference. Let them know that you remember them. Okay, so the second way is the market research approach. So here's an example of how this would work. I love to always start out with, I know you don't have any interest, because they've already told you no. And these are always fun to do in a voice memo, because you can actually be like, so I totally know you have no interest in actually coaching, right? I know you already told me that, but we just came out with this new Core to Force, or our team is starting something new for our business, and it's a sneak peek that we're doing live on Facebook. Something new, right? And I really want to do some market research, or I really want to get some feedback. And I need people that I trust that are going to be honest with me, because, I mean, you told me no about coaching, that you're not interested. And I just wondered if you'd take a look at this, or if you would attend our sneak peek and just give me some honest feedback on it. So market research. I think the key here is saying, I know you don't have any interest at all, right? Always give, in any situation, I always take the pressure off and be like, I know, if you're not interested, it's not a big deal at all, because it isn't, right? I'm not here to make somebody join as a coach. Those aren't people that I want on my team. If you're like dragging people to become a coach, you want to find a solution that they get excited about and that's going to change your life. That's the key thing. So your job is just to expose them, and they're going to determine if there's value. This could even be, so if you're thinking of like a challenge group. So we just came out with Core to Force, right? We're doing a test group. This is perfect. You've had somebody say no, they're not interested in PiYo. They don't like yoga and Pilates. This is perfect. Reach out to them. Somebody that you haven't connected with in a few months. This is an awesome opportunity. We have a challenge group starting on November 14th. That's the last day to join. It's a test group. And we are going to be testing out Core to Force with Shakeology. And seriously, there is going to be research done on it to see what people's results are. So your job is to expose them, invite them to a sneak peek into coaching, sneak peek into a challenge group, and they'll determine if there's value. Practice my presentation approach. This is another one that I've learned about. And these were, what is his name? Heilig strategies. Anyways, I don't remember his first name, but your virtual upline. That's who, if you go to your podcast, it's called My Virtual Upline or Your Virtual Upline. Great personal development. Anyways, this one is practice my presentation approach. So here's an example of how this would work. And this is kind of like the sneak peek as before. Market research would probably be more of a new product. But I know you aren't interested, right? But I'm excited because I'm hosting my first sneak peek into coaching. So we have a lot of new coaches, right? This is perfect. And I'd love some honest feedback on my presentation. That's it. And you're going to expose them to the coaching. You know they're not interested. They're a close friend. And you would love their feedback on your presentation. Is there anything you can work on? And you know what? It relieves that pressure of being perfect because you've already told them that you know they're not interested. But that you care about their opinion and you think that they actually their opinion matters to you. You want to learn and grow and you care what they have to say. Okay, and then this is the last way. It's the referral approach. Again, I know you're not interested, but things are really going well with our coaching and our team, and I wanted to ask you a favor. Do you know anybody else who's looking for a change? They may have told you no before, right? But do you know anybody else who's looking for a change? I think this referral approach is underutilized, crazy underutilized. Do you know anybody that's looking for a job change, someone that's unhappy in their job? Anybody, maybe a new mom, if this person is a mom, someone who's wanting to work from home, or even just someone who's, getting out of college and looking to earn a little extra income to pay off their debt. You kind of have to decide based on whatever your relationship is with this person, but ask for a referral. There's a lot of people that they probably know that they could connect you with. But the key here is there's this thing that we all have, and it's not all of us, but it's a fear of missing out. And you want that person to say, well, what about me, right? I'm not happy in my job. I'd love to work from home. Or maybe I'd like a little extra money to go shopping or to pay off my student loans. So that's kind of what you're looking for that person to say. And if not, you might get some awesome referrals out of it. So these are a few strategies that you can use to mix it up. The key here is finding something that works for you, right? Something that's natural. The market research approach might not work for you, or the practice your presentation may be perfect, right? Maybe you are a rock star presenter or not a rock star presenter, but you do want to learn and grow from it. And this is a perfect opportunity to get some exposure there. Take action. Before we go into the take action, I just want you to remember how simple it is. It's so easy to reach out to people that say no, have said no to you before. It's just doing it, right? It's just actually doing it. It's actually keeping the list. It's actually putting it on your calendar. I can't tell you how many times. So I did Teamsy for a few months. Teamsy was a software that we paid for, well, I paid for, and I did it. I did everything but the follow-ups. For some reason, I never hit that follow-up button. And there were people that I followed up because I knew and I saw on my Facebook feed, but I didn't hit the follow-up button. It's so easy to not follow. I think it's probably it's easy not to invite and it's easy not to follow up. It's probably the two hardest pieces. But it's actually really simple. It's literally just checking in with someone to see how they're doing. It's amazing. This is a challenger example, but I just had somebody, I reached out to her just to say hi. It was a follow-up. And I wanted to see how she was doing and check in. She had just gotten married. I wanted to see how their honeymoon was. And she was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you just messaged me. I need to get into a challenge group. Like, it was the perfect timing. Like, she was like, I just was thinking last night, like, my eating has been terrible. It's amazing how sometimes we call them coincidences. I like to call them God moments. Whatever you consider them, they happen. But you've got to follow up. And if just checking in is the best way for you, then do it. Okay, so take action. So if you haven't already, create a master list of coach invites. People that you want to invite to the coaching opportunity. A master list. And you could probably pull a majority of the people that are on your regular list, right? So maybe if you're doing Excel, you want to add an extra column that says coach invite. And then after that, you want to designate a dream team of A-listers. A-players is actually what it is, not A-listers. I must have been reading People magazine. Anyways, A-players. Because those are like your dream team. Those are the people that you really want to work with. If you don't have this list, your team's probably not going to grow. Because you're not going to be reaching out to people. You're going to be expecting people to come to you, which just doesn't happen. It occasionally happens. I shouldn't say it doesn't happen, but it's rare. And then invite and follow up with everyone that said no, right? So if you haven't invited anyone to the coaching opportunity, then I challenge you this week to reach out. If you're a business builder, reach out to 10 people about the coaching opportunity. 10 people. And if you have already invited to the coaching opportunity in the past, then follow up with 10 people and still invite 3 to 5 more. And then one thing that I want to open up to everybody who is serious, you have to be serious. This isn't I'm going to join a group and pretend to be active. We're doing, a few of us have started an accountability group that we are going to reach out to 10 people or invite to the coaching opportunity 10 people per week. This is only for people that are serious business builders because it's a serious group. Like, we take this seriously. But you're invited to be a part of it. And we check in each week. It doesn't mean we're perfect. But our goal is to reach out to 10 new people each week. Let me stop my share. There we go. And what we're doing is we're on Voxer. And it's all you need to do. You could even pick a day that works for you. Like, we have Sunday on there. But it could be a Monday or a Tuesday. But checking in once a week and just sharing the 10 names of the people that you've invited to the coaching opportunity. And obviously, nobody's perfect. So there's some weeks when, like, life happens, but it's about being consistent. So, okay, I'm going to do it next week. So if you want to be a part of that, reach out to myself, Sindel, Jen, or Christy. Okay? But that also, it goes into the following up piece. And it's going to be pretty exciting to see, like, if we do this, like, how our team is going to grow. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be exciting. And more importantly, people's lives are going to be changed. And that's, like, it's just fun to think about, like, all the people that we're going to connect with over the next even 2 months. So that is it. Let me see if I had anything else on my notes here that I wanted to share. Yeah, I guess the last piece is just make sure, like, your job isn't to get people to join your team. Your job isn't to get people to join a challenge group. Your job is to share something that you have to offer, a solution. You have the opportunity to change people's lives, and it's their decision if they see value in it. When you're a new coach, and I can tell you so many times the way that I presented the coaching opportunity or I presented a challenge group was so bad. Because I wouldn't join me. Like, no way. But if you're not sharing now, you're never going to grow. And you're never going to get better. And I encourage you to reach out to your upline and ask them, like, hey, would you help me with this first person? Like, let's do this together. I think it's always awesome to have a third party in there, especially when you first start out. And I actually think it's even better to do that as a new coach, because it shows the person that you're inviting that you're part of a team. And when they join, they're not just alone in this. There's somebody there to support them, and that's going to teach them how to share and learn. And then you will grow, and you'll learn from your coach how to invite. So that's an awesome way to learn how to do it, but also show value in our team. And that when somebody joins, it's not like, here you go, be successful, run with it. Oh my gosh, it's 9:43. Bye. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My computer was on full screen because of the PowerPoint, so I didn't have a time by me. So I'll stop. Is there any questions? And feel free to jump off. I am never offended if you jump off.
I actually have 2 questions, sort of related to some topics you've touched on.
Yeah.
So the first one, I was wondering, the challenge groups that we're doing at the end of this month, do we have to be doing Core de Force to do them? Because I actually just bought Country Heat that I really wanted to try out.
Yeah, so there we have 2 challenge groups. The team challenge is not Core de Force specific. We have that one that starts, is it the 21st?
Up the 21st. Mm-hmm.
And then we also, because Core de Force launched, we have the Core de Force test group that will start next Monday. And I encourage you as a coach, if you don't have to by any means, but to try it out if you're looking for a new program, and just be a challenger in this if you want to. Like, I think you can get a free t-shirt. It's going to be fun, and I love it. And the more you try and you share new products, it just is exciting. So coaches are welcome to join as challengers. And then you can also join the one at the end of the month, the team challenge. That's perfect because it's right after Thanksgiving. Like, it will officially begin right after Thanksgiving. Prep will be during Thanksgiving week to get you through the holidays. So yes, Country Heat, which is also fun and a great new program.
Okay, and then my other one, do you know how long it takes when your status goes to inactive to go back to active when you've accumulated the PV?
It should automatically go.
Because I already purchased enough to be active with PV, but it still hasn't updated, and the shipment is on its way. Like, it'll be here within this week, so I wasn't sure if it waits until it got delivered or what, because it still hasn't updated.
Normally it does immediately, or if not, the next day. Usually I see it within a few hours, but if not, I would call Coach Relations and just ask about that. Just make sure it's, if you have the 50 PV, that you ordered it under your account. Sometimes, and I'm sure you did, I would just call and ask them about that and just why your status is showing up as inactive. The only other reason it might not is if you've had somebody return something within the past 5 weeks, their return is included in that sum. So if they had a negative 90 and you ordered, that shows up under your volume, and you ordered 50 PV, then you would still be at a negative 40 PV. But if you haven't had anybody return anything, then I would definitely call.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Whenever you're adding people that you don't know and you're wanting to reach out to them, like, do you try to get to know them first, or do you just say, hey, I don't know if you're interested in this, and then throw it out there? Or
always, yep, you always want to try to get to know them first.
Okay.
Typically, you want to, unless it's somebody that you know, or like someone that you've followed on Instagram that has like an awesome fitness account that's like, man, they'd be an awesome coach. I mean, you'd probably invite them a little bit sooner, but you want to find a need that you have a solution for. So you want to find whatever need they might have and then share whatever solution you can provide them. So get to know them first and determine like what their life situation is like.
Okay.
And it's kind of, I've said this before, it's kind of like dating. You have to ease into it. Like, don't ask those, like, you want to get married, on the first date. So think about it that way. And always bring it back to yourself. Like, I always think, like, I'll get messages from other network marketers that are like, hey, I have a sale going on. And I'm like, you haven't talked to me in 2 years. Like, I'm not going to come to your sale. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was so salesy. Like, you didn't really care about me. So just always remember, like, think about, like, okay, put yourself in their shoes. And that helps a lot.
I've been adding people with mutual friends, and what I do is I take like 2 or 3 of the mutual friends we have and say, oh my gosh, I just love connecting with people that are friends with my awesome friends. And I say, this is how I know Karen, and this is how I know Aaron, and this is how I know Tracy. And, how do you fit into this network or whatever? And that's gotten a little bit more traction than my usual spiel.
I love that because it
Good idea.
gives them a reason to respond too. Like, I love that. Awesome. I'm gonna have to start doing that. Stealing it.
That's a really good idea, Jen. I like that a lot.
Anybody else?
Kate, I just had to share while you were talking about the process. I was trying to remember, because you kind of slammed Sindel and I and said that you would have never joined you right away. So I wanted to see like how you actually got me hook, line, and sinker into this.
That's so funny because I was like, what did she say to get us right away? We were like, sure, let's do this.
You can even imagine the amount of posts I had to go back through, messages, to get back to November of 2014.
Oh no, what did I say?
You sent me just a normal message. I responded back. You sent the whole like, your boys are cute, blah blah blah. And then I started to join. It took you 2 months to get me, 1 month to get me in a challenge group, almost less than a month. 2 months to get me on a discount, but you really followed up all the time. You'd be like, if you didn't hear from me, you're like, hey, sorry if I am like, or, not trying to bother you, just wanted to make sure. And then literally in March, I sent you a message and was like, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. I want to coach and change other, I think it's just really amazing, like, going through this. I was so annoying. I'm annoyed. I'm looking at this like, oh my God, I would have punched me in the throat. I think that's important to remember, like,
because you didn't answer, or why?
I didn't answer. No, I didn't. I wouldn't answer you for like days, and I don't know why.
And you guys, it's so easy to take that personally.
Yeah, and it wasn't personal. I mean, it definitely, obviously wasn't. But yeah, I wrote to you, and I'm like, I would love to chat when I get back from vacation about how I can start being an active coach. And that was How dumb is that? We could like. But you did a good job. You're not as lame as I think you thought you were, because
I felt lame.
pretty impressive. Just you guys, I mean, it was a lot. Like, when you read back, I can feel that feeling of like, am I bothering somebody to keep sending? But it was like, hey, how are you going? You're doing so great in this challenge group. Do you want to roll into another challenge group? You should. And you never stop talking about the discount. Like, I would just blow it off. Apparently, I didn't know I was doing that. But I like totally blow it off, and so it's kind of fun to look back and see the progression of that, because
That is fun.
I'm just gonna go back through this and take the tips. But you weren't that bad at it.
Oh.
She was following up with me when she was on vacation in Europe. You were gone for like 2 weeks. And I was like, why do you keep messaging me? Enjoy your vacation.
That's so funny. Well, and I remember, Sybil, you said no right away. You were like, no, I'm not. I think you signed up for the discount, right? And
I did. And then I reached out to you, actually.
Yeah, you had said no, and I was like, bummer. Like, But here's the thing that I learned. When somebody says no, don't ever go, bummer. Go, okay, that's 1 out of 5 times, right?
It's too late. I'm going to get you at some point.
Yeah. And then you reached out, and I remember being like, I think I texted Brendan, and I was like, oh my goodness, Sybil's interested in coaching. It's so fun. And look at I just think about the friendships that are created because of it. It's exciting.
Oh, I lost. It took me
And so if you're a new coach too, don't be worried about what you say. Obviously I was so worried about what I said because I was worried about what Christy was going to just share. But I kind of wish I would have failed at it to show you that. I mean, I'm sure I didn't say everything perfectly. I never do. I still don't.
Right.
But it's putting yourself out there, being genuine, being honest, showing up for people, following up. If you say you're going to follow up, you better follow up.
I was just going to say, I think you're right there, Kate. And I've noticed too, since I really.
I love the naked baby. I'm sorry. Oh, hi. Sorry, Christy. I had to acknowledge Jen.
What's your name?
Hi. What's your name?
Savannah.
Hi, Savannah. I'm Sindel.
Why are you naked?
You like running around naked? My kids like to run around naked too.
Good. Go get in the bath. I'll be right up. I don't normally let them bathe alone, by the way. I am a good mother. But I'm like, I want to finish up the call.
You're a better mom than I am. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to be bathing by themselves either.
I use the bath as a holding pen. I'm like, oh, I can fold some laundry while you're in there and I can see.
Exactly.
I don't remember what I was saying. It probably wasn't important.
Does anybody have any other questions or takeaways at all? I think these were great points, Kate. I love the examples that for the 4 strategies, the actual examples you shared. Those were fabulous.
Okay. And just a reminder, if you want to get into this accountability group, let us know. You're welcome to, and it will be fun. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going back and looking at my message from Kate too. Apparently I deleted it before at one point, but I still, all the way back in 2014, you were still following up with me and just, asking about my move to DC and asking about this and just throwing out, just doing another challenge if you're interested. And it took a Rodan and Fields presentation for me to sign up for Beachbody.
Really?
If I'm going to commit to this kind of thing, some girl tricked me into it because she said there was free wine and I'm a sufferer. And she took me and I was so moved. I was like, oh my God, you have such success. And then Kate had gone on that trip, the cruise, and I was like, maybe it's the same thing. And I was like, if I'm going to do it, it's definitely not going to be on face wash. Just a real thing. And then I think I might have even reached out to Kate at that time and been like, okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
Yep.
But it took 3 years total. So good job following up. I probably gave you 100 no's.
Oh, it's fun though, and it's exciting, and it's fun to think who's going to be your next go-getter on your team. If I wouldn't have reached out to Jen or connected with Sindel and Christy and followed up, you know, I'm sure each of you have those same stories. Like, who is it going to be? Whose life are you going to change?
Christy,
Right?
I should have given you a little more troubles, apparently.
What?
I should have given you a little more troubles, apparently.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's exciting when you have somebody that is like ready to go right away. Like, that is so fun.
I literally called Kate that day and was like, I don't know what happened, but I will say this, Angie, that you don't know this because you didn't know yet, but that was right in the culminate when I really started, like you and Jennifer and whatever are doing now, really grinding down to my business and doing my vital behaviors. And I think I was like in probably month 2, Kate, or something of like consistency. And I was really praying about it, and you came in. And I think that's a pretty amazing, and you were on my list, but I was too afraid of you, so I didn't. Here we are.
So here I have a question. So you reached out to Christy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it, and you knew because of her social media feed.
Right.
So there's the power in being active on social media, right?
Well, I found you, Kate, through your page because our mutual friends liked your page. And I was like, look, Kate's standing in front of Chicago. That looks cool. So, yeah, that's
So
I
it's
knew you, but I refound you.
right. So that shows like social media is pretty important too. Like always vital behaviors first, but social media, there's a lot of power there. Just sharing, because you may not know whose life you're impacting just by your posts that you're doing. Now, make sure that you're sharing something that's vulnerable. Share your story. And I think we probably all struggle with like making sure that we share those scary things, and like we feel like maybe we've shared them too many times, but keep sharing it because somebody needs to hear from you that is hurting or is going through those same struggles right now. So, okay.
Well done.
Thanks, guys. This was fun. I want to do a quick smile because I want to post something for our team spirit.
Oh, fun.
I'm not as talented as Cyndall in being able to do this. Hold on. Okay. Do like a funny face, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I feel like we have a lot of duck face there, guys.
We'll do one that's a smile just in case that one was bad. Okay. Ready? 1. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta get my. Okay.
I could have told us to all dress up for this.
1, 2, 3. Okay. There we go. Thanks for popping on, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Adios.